Okay, so that's when you side with Edelgard. Okay. So this worked officially in the Black Eagle route now.
We somehow managed to escape.
This is one of the Imperial Army's provisional camps. Here we can organize our forces.
Before we go any further, I want all of you to really ask yourselves if you're certain you wish to join us. As expected, Flank has chosen to leave our ranks.
When I saw
Good
the
riddance.
professor running off, I ran about as fast as I could to catch up.
Caspar, death finds those who run without thinking. You gave no thought to the war fog. My grandfather was the leader of Bridget, and I hope for us to be allies with the Empire. I will be staying. Was this a good idea? Did I make the right choice? But my family is part of the Empire, and our professor is here.
You're fine here with us, Bernie. Though it's true certain houses were against the Imperial Princess. I assume you're referring to my family. I must believe that the conclusion I came to was the correct one. You are the Emperor now. I am the only one left who is qualified to guide you at this point. I'm only here because I know it would be troublesome to stand against you.
I'm not just here for you, Amy. I'm here to follow our dear professor. Of course, I don't have any territory to offer, so Hubie may not even want me here.
The greater our numbers, the better. Your reasons for being here are of no consequence.
I think I understand where you're coming from. But now, I wish to hear of your resolve.
Alright.
Like you, I have risen to meet my destiny. I cut this path, and I will see it through to the end.
Okay, hold on. I got something to say about the rest of the Black Eagle House following Edelgard. In the other two route, like, you just assume if you don't recruit them, they follow Edelgard because she's the Emperor and they have, like, was literally the only option. But like, that doesn't even really make sense because Linhard doesn't like Edelgard. Like, he's competing with Edelgard. Like, I would assume if the other houses, like, for example, Lawrence, if you don't do anything with him, if you're not playing the Golden Deer, you don't do anything with him, Linhard joins the Empire. So that Ash, if you don't play the Black Lion or Blue Lion or recruit him. So, like, I would imagine Linhard being the, like, opposition in the Empire trying to fight against Edelgard. But, like, he doesn't. So, like, they just joins which, Edelgard. If you don't play the Black Eagle, then you just, fine, she's the Empire. But, like, in this one, I would think Edelgard could, like, sneakily or, like, just outright uses her support to basically get close to them or, like, preach her ideology. So when this time comes, like, they would look back on their support and support conversations, support cutscenes, and join Edelgard because of it. But it really doesn't. The only times when I can think it comes to mind when Edelgard does it is with, like, Caspar. But okay, that's fine enough. She doesn't try to convince them because okay, but. I would imagine if Edelgard doesn't do that, then when they say why they join, why they would join Edelgard is because our professor decided to believe in you, and I believe, and only Dorothy really, and Dorothy and the Bertinetta only, they're the only ones who does it. Like, Caspar says, hey, I just saw the professor running, so I decided to join you. Like, Petra's fine, I guess. Petra's like, hey, we are, like, a small nation right next to the Empire. If I don't help you, like, if you come to power, we are gonna get, like, destroyed, completely annihilated. That's fine. Like, what the heck is Linhard's deal? Linhard doesn't want to fight anybody. Like, why would he outright joins, like, a world war? And, so does Ferdinand. What's the deal with Ferdinand? Like, well, he's like, I'm the only one who can advise you. What about Hubert? What about your dad? Like, what? Why are you the only one? Hey, I have to join Edelgard because I need to, like, steer her in the right direction. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't think this is written very well.
Following me is akin to pointing a sword at the goddess herself. One misstep and we fall to our ruin. You have now witnessed the Archbishop's true self. She is a cruel beast. Those who rule this world use that beast's power to fabricate miracles, all to control those who blindly believe in the gods. They conceal the truth and force their lies on the nobility. They mercilessly annihilate anyone who defies them. I know this because I have lived it. After what you have seen, is there any room for doubt?
Also, what's she? I would imagine it would be explained more in part 2, but I've been told that you only fight Nemesis and Talon in the Golden Deer route, so like you don't even like the Solon and his crew, the Nemesis crew doesn't even show up in the Black Eagle route. So I have to ask this question now, but I think it will be answered in part 2. My question is, why does Edgar hate the church? I mean, like, presumably she was like experimented on, tortured by like Solon and Talon and those guys, Veronica. Like, her brother and sister were killed by them. Like, the prime minister of the empire was on their side. But, like, she is talking like, no, they are on the church's side. But, like, she is like, hey, like, do you see Rhea turned into a giant monster? Like, that's proof that she's evil. No, it's not. What are you talking about? Like, you are literally using, like, creststones to turn people into monsters to attack the church. How are you any different? And why do you hate the church? I would imagine, like, the person who experimented on her, like, killed her brother and sisters and, like, basically did all that stuff to her, like, told her church is bad. But, like, it doesn't make any sense because presumably she's free. She doesn't have to work with them anymore. So, like, why, if you hate the church, then why would you still be working with Solon and those guys? Doesn't, like, the person who, like, killed their siblings and, like, tortured and, like, mutated you are still working with them. But, like, now you hate the church because they told you to hate the church. Is that what's happening, or is there more to it, to the story?
The Church of Ceres has great influence and power. Their control over the lords of the kingdom and the alliance is nearly absolute. We are the only ones who can stop this indomitable enemy that has plagued our world for ages. We fight for humanity, for all of Fódlan. If you dare walk this path with me, take your first step. It's now or never. Thank you, my friends. We are the true face of the Empire, and we will triumph!
That was incredible, Lady Edelgard.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm relieved. They really chose to follow me. I was resolved to move forward alone if I had to. But in my heart, I hoped it wouldn't come to that.
So long as I am here, you will never be alone. Please do not forget that. And it would seem that the professor also has a key role to play in this.
You're right. Now, I must speak with our dear teacher. Please, make preparations. The messenger should be here shortly.
Consider it done.
Professor, may I speak with you?
Of course.
I appreciate it.
What's wrong?
I'm just anxious. It feels like the weight of this burden is crushing me. At this very moment, on my orders, I'm starting a war. An army far larger than the one that attacked the Holy Tomb last month will soon be locked in battle. Long-devised strategies are unfolding across Fódlan. Leaders are deciding their loyalties and preparing to fight. So many generals and soldiers will die. It's inevitable that civilians will get caught up in the chaos as well. There will be countless casualties. With a single command, the flames of war will rage across all corners of this realm. And I am the one who is giving the order.
Do you wish to stop?
No. There is no turning back now. No matter how much blood flows at my feet, I will not relent. We must break the bonds that the depraved church has placed on Fódlan. These sacrifices will allow us to create a future where we never need sacrifice again. It may seem contradictory, but it's the only way. Listen to me. I made up my mind long ago. Yet here I am, seeking your approval. Tell me the truth, my teacher. Are you happy with your decision to stay by my side? Unlike me, you can still walk away from all of this. This path leads to the death of the Archbishop and the servants of the Church. Can you live with that?
I choose this path too.
I never thought... I'm sorry, it was a foolish question. I believe in you, Professor. And you believed in me. With that knowledge, I have the strength to keep fighting. Let's go. There's something I need to say to Hubert.
Your Majesty, the latest report indicates that our main army is advancing as planned. Also, the preparations for your manifesto are almost complete.
Manifesto?
We will be distributing our manifesto to every lord within Fódlan. We will expose the dark side of the Church of Ceres and the foul practices of the nobles from the Kingdom and the Alliance. We will force the people of Fódlan to open their eyes to the truth and relinquish any remaining conviction to unite against the Empire. Certain nobles have already offered us their support.
Yes, there are other nobles who oppose the Church. We will condemn those who deserve condemnation, and forgive those who deserve forgiveness. We have already purged some of the Imperial nobles who are morally rotten. My father among them. How unfortunate.
Okay.
We will invade and conquer Garreg Mach. Our main army has already departed the Imperial capital. They will arrive at the monastery in 2 weeks' time. There, we will join forces with them. As for us, I'd like your opinion on how we should be positioned within the army.
We are the Imperial Shield. We're the sword.
Your Majesty intends to fight alongside the Professor, correct? In that case, you will not be incorporated into the Empire's main army. Your squad can move freely about the battlefield under supervision of the Imperial forces. That would be most prudent.
Now that I'm the Emperor, we can't let it slip that I'm following your command in battle, Professor.
I fully object to the notion of you fighting on the front lines.
Hubert, we've already discussed this.
My apologies. I overstepped.
Now that the details are settled, all that's left is to come up with a name for ourselves. In honor of our time at the Academy, how about we call ourselves the Black Eagle Strike Force?
I love it.
I'm so happy you feel that way. I must confess that I spent all night thinking about it.
All night.
To you to prepare the Black Eagle Strike Force for departure.
That took you all night? Can I switch sides now? Okay, what the heck? You will operate from a temporary encampment available study unlimited. You can head out the battlefield and approach a temporary exit select to battle. What the heck am I doing? Wow, okay. That's whoa, that's fascinating.
Join forces with the main army and attack Garreg Mach. It's a fortress built on steep ground, but it's never seen battle. That means we don't know much about it from a military perspective. But if we use all of the power at our disposal, we will capture it.
We have to try.
From a purely mathematical standpoint, we most certainly have the power to win. If the battle becomes a clash of faces within human strength, you will be our only hope. I believe in you. I'm relying on you to lead the Black Eagle Strike Force to victory.
Why are you counting on me? Because I can't turn into a monster.
Majesty to bring the students to our cause. That task falls to you. Those who have forsaken their homelands to join the Empire will be feeling vulnerable. You are uniquely able to provide emotional support. Please use that gift to guide others down the path that Lady Edelgard has laid before us. I ask you to do this from the bottom of my heart.
Who's support? Oh, I have support with Edelgard. Okay.
I'm so sick of it all.
We're back in the monastery, apparently.
All I encounter are new problems and pitfalls. Sometimes I wish I could spend just one day doing absolutely nothing and gorging myself on sweets.
This is like you. Such are burdens on Empire. Let's do just that.
Do you mean it? Just the thought makes me happy. But Hubert would never allow it.
Let's kill Hilbert. That's too bad.
Indeed. It may not be possible now, but one day we will know the joys of Ireland. Mark my words. Is that a smirk I spy? Is it so amusing to you, me daydreaming of free time?
It's pretty funny.
I see.
Okay, well.
Finally getting an idea of what you think of me. But let's put all that aside for now. There is something I've been meaning to tell you. I'm afraid this might sound a bit sentimental. However, I want to thank you. Because of you, I feel I can walk my fated path without losing myself. If I were alone, I might have lost perspective and become a harsh leader with a heart of ice. But I'm not alone. With you by my side, I'm somehow free to be not only a leader, but simply Edelgard.
I'm glad.
Until now, no one has been able to surpass me, much less command me. I have always been seen as an untouchable princess or emperor. No one spoke to me as an equal, or met my gaze without flinching. It was lonely, terribly lonely. The only person I could rely on as I tried to claw my way out of the darkness was myself. With you have been a brilliant light. Somehow you have chased the darkness away. And for that, I will always be grateful.
The most important nobles in the Empire are known for taking power from the previous Emperor, my father included. I didn't think it possible that the Imperial Princess could ascend the throne so easily. However, it seems that both my father and Caspar's are supporting Edelgard. Having both the Minister of Domestic Affairs and Minister of Military Affairs on your side gives you total control over the Empire's military and finances. You must have been making preparations for quite some time without anyone noticing.
Am I crazy, or is that the same dialogue as if, like, you didn't choose the Black Eagle house? Because if you choose the Golden Deer or the Blue Lion, the Black Eagle student doesn't leave in chapter 12. So, like, that's the same dialogue, right?
That could have gotten dangerous fast. If I stayed at the monastery, I would have had to fight my father.
Oh, that's different.
We aren't especially close, but he's not an opponent I'd want to face. I'd almost rather fight a monster. Anyway, it looks like he's going to be leading the western units. I wonder if we'll wind up fighting the Kingdom's army. Who decided to fight for the church?
Okay, so that's different.
I asked Edelgard what happened to my father. He was dismissed as Prime Minister and is under house arrest in the Imperial capital.
That fat guy is your dad?
A greedy, arrogant man. Some would say that this is the fate he deserves. And yet I cannot help but feel indignant. After all his hard work for the Empire, to be disgraced like this. I am conflicted, Professor. I do not know what to do. As the next Duke Ire, should I follow Edelgard into battle?
Well, that fat guy is your dad. Okay.
Black Eagle Strike Force, eh? I like it. It's really a twist of fate that brought me to this side of things. I'm still proud to be here.
The Empire and Bridget were once warring with each other, but now I have made the decision to be fighting with the Empire. It is a choice of irony, I feel. But I am having no regrets. My belief is with you, and with Edelgard. Edelgard became emperor and raised an army, huh? I knew the kid had it in her. I mean, yeah, of course, I knew she'd be emperor eventually, but the more I think about it, the more surprised I am. I wonder who's gonna win.
It's Warsome. We will not lose.
Thinking about it makes me scared. We're fighting the Knights of Saros. Still, I know you'll figure something out.
Let me see. There's no calendar this month, huh? Okay. That's fine.
I don't even get my own room here. At least I get that at home. But speaking of home, Hubert told me something. He said my father was stripped of his title. I guess he did as he pleased and opposed Edelgard. Wait. Does that mean my father's going to be home all the time now? On second thought, I think I'm fine right here.
Oh, that's funny.